This is Valley News Live at 5.
A close-knit congregation is mourning tonight as members continue to grapple with the loss of a family of 7 found dead in their Moorhead home Saturday night. The tragic discovery was made in the 4400 block of 13th Street South, where police say there is no evidence of any violence, but the causes of death are still undetermined. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley spoke with the family's pastor today, who says this was a special family who should never be forgotten.
It was supposed to be a night of prayer for Eric Bravo Mejia and the members of Mount Carmel Church in Moorhead. But a frantic call to Mejia's phone prompted him and other members to rush to this house just blocks away, home to a loving family of 7.
I went to the floor above and I enter into the room and all the family was together. They were there dead. And I went to another room and there was the niece dead and the uncle also dead, all dead.
Mejia says he's known the Hernandez Pinto family for several years now, who come from Honduras just over a decade ago. A family photo shows Berlin Hernandez and his wife Marlene Pinto surrounded by their 16-year-old daughter Braylin, 7-year-old son Mike, and 5-year-old daughter Marbelli. Also in the home was the couple's niece, 19-year-old Mariela Pinto, and Berlin's brother, 32-year-old Elder Hernandez.
I think that people should remember a family really special. Well loved. Many people oppress them. I think they will leave a remembrance that's very, very special.
While Mejia says he's still struggling to shake the nightmare he witnessed Saturday night, he says he's pushing through for the 7 special souls now watching over him. And he asks the community to continue to send up prayers of healing to the many in mourning and to remember the loving and kind family as more than just victims.
They always tried to be very united, together. My heart hurts because I love them so much. It's so painful for me. They were a family well loved.
Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Police say preliminary autopsies have ruled out the obvious trauma as the cause of death and say more information will be released in the coming days. And in honor of those individuals that passed away this weekend, someone left 7 wreaths outside the home of the victims. In this picture, the wreaths were laid near the front door of the home, and each one has a card attached that holds the names every one of the lives lost. It may be a Monday, but a lot of people are looking ahead to the weather, especially on Friday and beyond. Hutch has that ground covered, but there are also some chances for challenges before then. He joins us now to talk about it. Early, Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much. Good evening, everyone. Our temperatures today on the cool side. We've seen clear skies and pretty quiet conditions to start the work week for most. 0 in Langdon, 1 Devil's Lake, 3 in Grand Forks, and temperatures are a pinch warmer down south. Look at Mobridge, 22 degrees there. As we take a look at the satellite, we're going to remain quiet. We do have increasing clouds from the west, and when we take a look at the big picture, snow spreading through the Big Sky country of Montana from that Glasgow area into areas north of the Glendive area right now. That's going to spread our way, and by morning, many of us will have a good chance at seeing 1 to 3 inches of snow. We're talking from Highway 2 all the way down to the South Dakota border. Some of the heavier pockets will be 2 to 4 plus, and best chance of that will be in Lakes counties, as you've seen the crawl going across your screen at the bottom. That is where there is a winter weather advisory. Give yourself extra time in the morning. But for tonight, get out and about and enjoy your evening. We will see increasing clouds late, the wind very light. Chance of snow begins here mainly after midnight. We'll go through the hour-by-hour details on this system, Mike, as we go through the next 24 hours. We will have an update on our first alert weather day that's been issued for Friday or Christmas Eve. All that in a few minutes.
All right, thanks. And make sure that you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app on your phone. Just search the VNL Weather in the App Store. Download it for free. All right. Kim Potter's case is now in the hands of the jury. Closing arguments wrapping up earlier today in the trial of the former Minneapolis, Minnesota police officer who shot and killed Daunte Wright, claiming she accidentally mistook her gun for a taser. Potter faces 2 counts, first-degree manslaughter and second-degree manslaughter. President Joe Biden's social spending and climate bill appears to be in jeopardy after West Virginia's Joe Manchin announced he will not support it. Manchin announced the news over the weekend, surprising colleagues and the White House. In a statement, the White House called Manchin's announcement at odds with what he told the president in conversations last week, but promised to continue to press Manchin to see if he will reverse his position again. Meanwhile, the backlash from party progressives has been swift.
The idea that Joe Manchin says he can't explain this back home to his people is a farce.
U.S. Senate Democrats are promising to take a vote in the new year regardless of Manchin's stand. It's been nearly 22 months since the Trump administration placed a temporary pause on student loan repayments, but the Biden administration will end that. Payments will resume on February 1st for about 40 million borrowers. President Biden says he supports forgiving $10,000 per borrower through traditional legislation, and says if Congress sends him a bill, he'll sign it. The Federal Reserve says Americans owe more than $1.7 trillion in student loans as of the third quarter of 2021. A 15-year-old from Edina, Minnesota is being hailed by law enforcement as a hero for rushing to the aid of one of her customers in a McDonald's in Eden Prairie. Eva Anderson has our story.
A Saturday shift started out pretty standard.
Yeah, you know, like the standard in and out rush, lunch rush, people, like the line was completely packed.
15-year-old Sydney Rayleigh from Edina has worked at McDonald's since summer, taking on a number of roles.
Sometimes I'll actually be taking people's orders, sometimes I'm mixing drinks, sometimes I'm handing food out the windows.
Sometimes she's saving lives.
I noticed that she was coughing profusely. I could tell, like, oh crap, she's choking.
Then the fast food worker thought fast.
I jumped out the window of the drive-thru and I got her out of the car, told her daughter to call 911.
She called in a bystander to help, and together they successfully performed the Heimlich maneuver. It's training Sydney had 4 years ago, but one she was able to expertly recall.
She remembered all of the training.
I always tell her she has a gift because she's autistic and she can remember anything, do anything. It's crazy.
Impressing her parents.
We were really proud of her.
And the local police.
We could use more of her in this world.
Who rewarded her for a good deed done.
They gave me $100. It's insane.
But better than the monetary reward is what Sydney learned about herself.
Feel as though I'm actually capable of contributing to society and actually capable of making a difference.
Because Sydney's standard of service is higher than most. Her store can now claim billions served.
You feel like a hero.
And one life saved. Eva Anderson, KARE 11 News.
Rayleigh turns 16 in a few weeks, was humbled by the recognition from police and says it's insane that they gave her $100. She says the whole experience helped her learn about herself. Way to go. Public schools are out for holiday break in Kentucky, but you'd never know it watching bus after bus after bus hit the road. Instead of students, they're hauling precious cargo, such as Christmas presents and other much-needed supplies collected and delivered from multiple school districts. More than 70 buses made their way through hard-hit areas left behind by last week's tornadoes. The Omicron variant of COVID-19 has now been detected in all but 5 states. It's not the dominant strain, but yet Dr. Anthony Fauci warns that it will happen soon. Average new COVID cases have nearly doubled since the beginning of November, and the U.S. now is averaging 156,000 cases a day.
See a spike in cases, and that's because Omicron is incredibly transmissible. But there will be a stark difference between the experience of those who are vaccinated and boosted versus those who are unvaccinated.
President Biden is expected to address the nation tomorrow on this subject matter, while he'll likely have a stark message for the unvaccinated. While the U.S. is averaging more than 150,000 new COVID cases a day, we're hearing about more and more breakthrough cases. Health experts expect more breakthrough cases in the coming weeks. They say vaccinated people who get infected still need to isolate to prevent the virus from spreading. Adding people with underlying conditions such as heart disease and diabetes should be especially careful right now, regardless of their vaccination status. With just 6 days away from Christmas, the rush is on for those last-minute holiday gifts. Retail experts say if you plan on relying on shipping services to get it there by Christmas, you may want to consider another option, like digital gifts that do not rely on shipping. You could think about buying loved ones a subscription to a streaming service or home meal delivery services.
It is a frustrating year for shoppers and retailers and fulfillment services alike. And it is very common right now that people are getting the word that their package is getting pushed back, even if they did order by a retailer's deadline, even if they ordered early. So my advice would be, I think everyone's going to have to be a little more flexible this year, including recipients of gifts.
Experts also suggest buying what they call one-size-fits-all gifts so you can save time shopping for individualized items. Are you or someone you know planning to fly this holiday? Later in Valley News Live at 5, a sign that many people will be heading for the friendly skies.
And our time lapse today shows a lot of sunshine over the Devil's Lake Basin. A beautiful day, but we do have some changes in the offing. In fact, snow by morning for many will impact your commute. I don't expect a lot, but again, impactful snow on the way for the holiday as well. Details in your forecast are straight ahead.